How's it going, everyone? We're here to check out what is new in the Rust update. And yeah, this month we have the Eye in the Sky update. And with it, we've got some small changes, some things, and some performance and this and that. But mostly, Eye in the Sky is based around the computer station. And you've got a drone. We have a new camera. There's some cool things you can do with it. So, let's get into first things first. One of the new things you can do is do RF C4. So you can set your RF transmitter to whatever you want. Then go to your stack of C4 and hit Enable RF. You can set your frequency. And now the C4 itself won't go off. It will make an initial kind of like beeping noise, you'll notice. And then after a few seconds, people can pick them up. Just like a satchel charge. So that means if you aren't paying attention, someone could run up and grab it. So there is a disadvantage of doing that. But the other thing with it is you can set them all off at once. So one other change we have is that vending machines now drop 50% of their loot instead of nothing. And they said it's subject to change. It could be something where they make it drop all loot, no loot again. They're just going to wait and see what the feedback is. So you can see there's that beeping noise. But you see they stay green. And now it's just silent. And at this point, anyone could run up and grab them. Whatever. Boom. We blew up our vending machine. And we don't even have anything in the vending machine. So let's just put a bunch of random junk in the vending machine. Here, let's just fill it with sulfur. So we'll put in exactly 4 stacks. And we'll get one more on there. As you can see, you can't instantly set it off. You gotta wait for that initial period. Once you get the ba-ding, you're good to go. So we blew it up, and as you'll see, 2 stacks of sulfur made it, 50%. So there you go. That's a nice little change there, and I can see a lot of people using this creatively. I mean, you could technically set up a trap where you place C4 all around like a loot room or something, and then you set an RF signal. And when someone comes into your base and sets off the RF signal, it sends a signal and detonates all the C4, blowing them and your loot up. I mean, kind of like a self-destruct kind of thing. I mean, there's various different things you could do. But mainly, I just see people using it for raiding. You cannot attach it to drones or anything. I guess you could attach a bunch of C4 to a car. And then drive it in and then blow up, I guess. So we'll just have to see how people use it. I see it going creatively, though. But yeah, there's that little feature there. Another little change is going to be with the conveyor. You see it now has the option to copy and paste your current filters, which is nice. So you can just go ahead and, you know, add in a filter and go ahead, and once you're done, if you want to set the next one the same way, boom, nice and easy copy paste. Also down here, you can set things to do any item. You can set it to do all sorts of different settings. And it just allows you to do so much more customization with it. And then you'll also see that the Industrial Crafter also now has the 4 blueprint slots in it there that you can change out of. So let's look at our new 2 items. We've got the PTZ camera and the drone. And the drone is the actual player set drone. So over here, you'll take a look and they're going to pop up in Tech Tier 2. And the drone, I believe, is where are you? Drone. Ah, there it is. Right after the computer table, boom, boom, right here, right before turret. So as you'll see, there they are. And prospectively, 125 to learn the drone and 75 to learn the camera. So once you've got that done, you can go ahead and look in your inventory. And the crafting cost is going to be 1 CCTV camera and 150 metal frags. And then for the drone, you're going to be looking at 200 metal frags, 2 tech trash, and a camera. So, you know, it's not the cheapest. So there you go with those. So once you have them up and ready to go, you basically have to set an ID. So I set this very simply to drone 1. You might want to set them to things that people can't guess. Otherwise, they could take control of it. I set this to camera 1. So also, again, not the most exciting name. But if we go ahead and pop into here, we'll jump into camera 1. And you'll notice first thing, we can move it. That's right, PTZ stands for pan, tilt, and zoom. So if you left click, you can zoom in up to 4 times. Well, 1, 2, 3, sorry. 4th is returning. So you got 3 levels of zoom. And yeah, you can just completely tilt around, full 360. Also, another nice little change is along with this camera being added, the regular CCTV camera now only takes 3 power, just like this one. So that is a nice little addition. So let's go ahead and add the drone into here. Now that we've got our drone, you can see we're in its camera, and shift is going to fly up, and control is going to go down. Okay. And then WSAD is your movement. And its flight controls are pretty good, and it has a distance of about 500 meters, and I just killed that drone. I'm pretty sure... Oh, no, it survived. Wow. Okay, it survived with 38 HP. So that actually helped me with our next point, which is that they do take damage, and you do need to repair them. So let's see. Let's go ahead and get a little Gmod tool here and some metal frags and repair this guy. And you'll see, oh, we also need some high qual, and apparently if it gets ruined enough, a camera. Oh, did I only give myself 1 high qual, not 1,000? Oh, it does actually need the camera, I believe. Oh, no, it didn't take it. Okay. So now that we're good again, we'll jump back in here, get back in our drone, and yeah, so about 500 meters of range, and that's pretty cool. I mean, you can do quite a bit with this, and depending on what your flying skills are, you could potentially, you know, be a pretty good spy. I mean, as you can hear, they have some sound to it, so they aren't the quietest. Oh, that's weird. You can open your inventory while you're in this. It doesn't have an inventory, guys. That was just something strange there. But yeah, I mean, you can literally go from your base and fly around to Radtown, see if somebody's around there, check it all out. And then, of course, you're going to have to come back and land, because if you leave your drone somewhere else, someone can just pick it up or destroy it. And they're pretty weak sauce. I mean, they don't have a whole lot of HP. It'd be pretty easy to just smack it a few times and destroy it. They're definitely going to be fragile, just like the actual drones are in real life. I mean, some of them can take a beating, a couple falls, but honestly, something's going to break if they fall from too high. So here we are. Again, control is to land. Boom. Oops, and I think you can land a little too rough as well. Yep, that damaged it quite a bit. So you want to be very careful in your landings. But our last feature here is that auto turrets can now also be controlled using the computer station. So if we go on up, you can set an ID. We're going to set this as turret 2. And then we're going to hook up some electricity. You'll notice that you have to put in the ID before you give it power. And now we'll hop into here and add T1 and T2. So there we go. Here's our turret. You have full control of it, but as you can see, it kind of gets like a fog in the distance. You can really see it right here, and then you can really see we don't see anything other than an outline there. So that you know, Harbor's like that. That's Harbor. So, you know, it is nerfed. It also feels kind of sluggish because it's the turret control, and you don't really have the best aim with it either, you know? And then if you want to switch, you just hit escape, click on over, and now we're on to our next turret. So there we are. Definitely a cool little system. I can see a lot of people doing some neat stuff with, setting up some very cool traps and getting that done. So that is it with the update for now, guys. It's a pretty easy one to cover. We do have a lot of stuff upcoming that the devs are working on, so there's a little bit of a lighter update. But there is some performance stuff that they have worked on and implemented, and some other stuff that they are still going on with. But lastly, Rust Plus. If you have Rust Plus connected to your server, you can actually view your cameras now. And I was going to do a video on my own phone, but for some reason, whenever I try to connect to a camera, it just crashes. It's probably because I have a crappy phone. It's a prepaid phone right now, one of those things, so I'm pretty sure it's that. Plus, also, it is in its alpha stage. But the way it works is you don't have to do anything here. It's based off of the ID of the item. So basically, you know, I set this one to C1. So you go into your phone, connect to your server, and then there's a new cameras tab that's marked alpha. And you put in the ID, C1, and the camera should pull up. Again, it might not work on your device. You know, they're still very much so working on it. It's an early alpha, but I mean, that's a really big deal. And you'll notice here from the video, of course, that the graphics themselves aren't exactly the same, and that's because there's a lot to be sent over, and it's not as simple as a real camera being sent by Wi-Fi to your phone. You know, it's a camera in a game. So, there's... I can't explain it, I'm not a programmer, but there's a lot behind it. One way or another, they're working on making it happen, and is usable and testable. So, there you have it, everyone. I hope you enjoy your fresh wipe. Thanks for watching.